Hi, I'm Steve Wilmes, and we're here with another episode of the Risk Control Show. Today I'm joined by Matt Kita, our Director of Risk Control over here at Wilmes. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about communications, traffic control, and being able to talk to each other. I love this when they're like, we don't need radios. Matt, you and I have radios, right? We have two-way radios.
Yes, we do.
And we use them all the time.
Useful. Yes.
We use them all the time.
Some of our most useful equipment is our two-way radios.
Two-way radios are a lifesaver, man. They're better than phones in so many cases. Like, hey, I'm close by. Where are you at? We're especially when we're doing like emergency bends and we got to roll stuff halfway across the football field, and then you're like, darn, I forgot. Hey Matt, can you send this? Or hey Matt, I'm going to turn off the water now, right? Those types of things are very easy. But when you're in these high traffic situations and you're trying to communicate when construction's going on, I don't know how else you do it without, you can do hand signals, but if you're on some kind of big bend like they use in, what's that? Is it the WB? No, what is the one? What's the big amusement park here? Universal Studios. When you go down to their field, right, and they show you how they make the movies, and it kind of goes around so you can't see around, that there's nothing back there. It's just a facade of a building. But once you're out of eyesight, how do you communicate with somebody?
Well, hand signals aren't going to do any good unless you have I don't know. You remember the old Star Wars space mirrors defense program from 30 years ago? Where are those mirrors? Maybe they can set up a system. But no. Honestly, if you can't see anything, I don't see any other way to get around it except using some form of radio communication.
Like a 3-mile rope tug?
Hey! Yeah, right. Wait. Yeah, well, what was that? Get the cup and the string.
Yeah. So this was very quickly illustrated when we were doing training, like on the phone. So you get on the phone, it's very difficult to hear the phone. You got to maintain comm on the phone for an 8-hour project. That just doesn't work, you know. So you have lots of road noise. You got construction. So we're out there, and they're how many feet away? 250 feet away, but they're 250 feet away, and they're yelling back and forth to each other. They're trying to do hand signals, and nothing's working. And you're like, guys, will you use the radios? Use the radios. It's just that simple. And I don't know, some agencies don't want to get the radios because they have to maintain them and guys goof around. But those are all supervisory issues. You know, if you can't see, that's really dangerous. But even when you can see, if the person's not looking at you and you're giving hand signals, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. They can't see out the back of their head.
Right? So at least with the radio, you have your earpiece in, bam, it's there, it's good, it lasts for a long time, it's loud enough, easy enough communications. And not to mention, hey, let's say the other benefit here is if I'm doing a phone call and I want to make sure that everyone can hear me. So let's say we have a vehicle bust through the line. Yeah. Well, I got to alert everybody. Well, if that means what? I got to have everybody on a cell phone call and a group call?
Right.
So with everybody's microphone going, no one's going to hear that. So the radio can hit a bunch of people all at once, and you're good to go. So get some two-way radios and get some high-quality, good-grade radios. If you're out there doing this kind of work, it's important to be able to communicate. Communication is key. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, there's so much going on around a traffic zone. and so much sound that's impacting things. You can't depend on hand signals and yelling to get everybody's attention. It just, like you just mentioned that example of a car busting through. Look, lives are literally in danger when that happens.
Yeah.
Like if somebody busts through and goes right on in there, and there are workers that are working in and around the roadway, then you are seconds, tenths of seconds in some cases, depending on the speed, to warn them. And if there's any issue with communication, there, by the time they understand what you're trying to say, that car is already plowing into them.
Right.
That, that danger, that hazard is already there. So it to my way of thinking, it literally saves lives to use radio in this situation.
I think so. I think it's a big one. And again, not that you can't use hand signals and do discussions. Sometimes that's appropriate if it's close enough. But when you have multiple people working opposite ends of the zone, the temporary traffic control zone, you have to have communique as a top priority. And
Yes.
we do a lot of training on the communication components of it so that everyone understands what the calls are and what those hand signals are and what they can and cannot use and how to give them. So again, it's just so important. I think that's really all I wanted to say on this one, was just get some dang radios and stop being in the 18th century. Ma Bell, baby.
100% with you.
Yeah.
Let's
I
get those
love our
radios going.
radios. Our radios
they're
are
cool,
awesome.
too. They're fun. Come on, they're fun, but they also are a critical tool. So,
Oh, yeah.
they're
critical.
take advantage of both.
And I have to give a shout out to that brand. I have to look it up real quick.
Yeah, I know. I was just thinking.
Keep talking, Matt. I got to look
right
this brand up. It was.
It's terrific. So I'll tell you what.
Tell the story while I'm doing it.
Yeah, I'll tell the story while he's looking up. So we were doing a confined space rescue situation, and we were 5 floors up, I think it was, Steve. And Steve had his radio handy, and just whatever happened, he was juggling some things, and the radio fell off, and it fell all 5 floors, like through a floor to the bottom. And we were kind of like, oh, well, we're doing our work. We're going to keep working. So we did. We kept working and finished that job. And then at the end, we went down there. We were figuring it's going to be an explosion of plastic and metal and all that everywhere. And I don't think there was even a dent on it. Is that right, Steve? Was there even a
There was
dent
a tiny little indentation.
A chip, yeah. There was like an indentation, but not only. But then Steve picked it up and turned it on, and it worked like nothing had happened.
It was unbelievable. It blew the battery right off the back of it, but it did so in a manner that it must have hit the button. I don't know. It just shot that battery right off, so it didn't break it out. It just shot it out, and it 5 floors plus the 6-foot basement, right?
Right.
That this thing fell, plus my 6 feet of height, 5 foot 6 inches or whatever it was.
Right.
So this thing falls, it hits. There's a little scratch on it. But yeah, nothing else broken. Not even the LCD screen shattered. I mean, nothing. It was unreal. And it was, we bought a 5-pack of these radios, Retevis radios. And I knew they were cheap when I bought them, but they really worked well. And so, because we bought Motorola's, we bought a bunch. And we were trying to be cost effective. We didn't want to blow out a lot of money. We needed multiple radios for the things that we do. And we saw that 5-pack. We're like, we'll give it a try. We went out, we did testing, and we're like, wow, this actually is working at a better range. And throughout the school buildings, when we were on the school grounds, right, it was actually going over and around and through all the school buildings. We were in the middle of the campus and you were on the outside, and it was working better than some of the $300, $400, $500 radios a piece that we looked at. And we were like, you got to be kidding me. 5 of these for $90 or something. And then when it dropped, I was like, this is insane.
That was gone. Wait, nope.
It's still working. It's still in our pack. It works flawlessly. Like, that is amazing. So, OnePlus, Samsung, get your cell phones up in order, up to the level of Retivus. I hope they start making phones because I'm buying one.
There you go. That sounds like a plan.
All right, man. Well, with that, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube, we got it on the blog. If you're watching on the blog, we got YouTube. And we also are on, as Matt likes to say, Udemy and dollartrainingclub.com. So go ahead and check us out on all those locations. If you need any help out there with any of these types of programs or got questions, feel free to shoot them to us. We'd be happy to take those, and we'll see you on the next episode.